All right, good evening and welcome. It's Dr. Lisa Thompson here, the Digital Marketing Doctor, and welcome to this edition of Instagram A Rama. Now, I have to tell you guys, I am on kind of a real tight schedule tonight because at 7, I have to hop on a webinar at 7:30, and then I have to hop on another one at 8 o'clock. So this is going to be kind of a fast-paced webinar, so I just want you guys to know that there's always going to be a replay, and it will be up on my YouTube channel. It's the second playlist down called Instagram A Rama. I promise you I will have that replay up sometime tomorrow if I wind up going through things too fast. So I just want to say a big welcome right now. I see Vicki on here, and I know that some people, kind of hop on in a little bit later, but I just want to give everyone this heads up now because of I want to just give a quick announcement too before we begin. If you look on my whiteboard back here, you can see that it's called Guru Code. If you were scrolling through your Facebook wall or any points on social media, you're hearing myself talk about it and quite a few others. It's a brand new concept, a course that Diane Hockman is going to be doing a special training on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is something that I am really excited to be a part of this training, to hear more about it, because she was giving us a sneak peek about, I just got off this afternoon a webinar with her, and she was giving some sneak peek. She's going to be introducing 10 codes tomorrow night. And Diane always over-delivers on her training. She's a mentor of mine. I absolutely adore her, and I learn so much from her. So what I'm going to do, if you want to come aboard, this is going to be, for some people, it's going to give some big breakthroughs. It's not about internet marketing. This is what I call intangibles that will help you take your business to the next level, even with Instagram, because she's going to be teaching a mindset that is going to help enhance your results. So I am really excited. I'm going to be there tomorrow night, and it's going to be a fun party. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. So if you guys want to come and see what it's all about, please sign up. So with that said, I am going to get started here. I'm going to bring up my slides here. And let me see, is my slides coming up? Okay. Let me hit cancel. Let me see if it comes up now. Nope. Okay, now let me see if it does. There we go. All right. So hopefully my slide is showing up here. And we are talking about today Icona Square. And just a heads up, guys, too, at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on My Lead System Pro, there is a Google Hangout hosted by April Marie Tucker, the queen of Instagram. She asked me to come and do a Hangout with her at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we will be going. I don't know what we're all going to be talking about with Instagram, but we're going to be talking about some tips and strategies. And if you have any questions, you can come to that webinar, and she'll be able to give you some more insights as well. But tonight we are talking about Icona Square. And in these weekly webinars, if you're brand new and just joining us for the first time, what we're doing is we're learning to learn how to use Instagram to build your brand, create raving fans, and sell more stuff ultimately. But we have to get this groundwork first. I really believe that you can only build so high as your foundation is deep. And a lot of people, they hop onto these internet marketing tools and they use them too fast, but they don't understand what the true purpose of it is. And so what we're doing here is we're working on what the true purpose of Instagram is, how to use it, and where it can take your business. Now, if you haven't watched the previous 4 episodes, you may want to take some time to do that. I know they've gone anywhere between 30 up to 50 minutes, but it's really important that that we get that groundwork done. And so usually with ground rules, I have to keep my Facebook on, unfortunately, because I'm waiting to hear back from somebody really quickly. But for ground rules, you know, we want you to be present, have fun, ask questions. You can always leave questions with me. You can write them on my Facebook wall, or you can connect with me on my social media places where I love to hang out. I have a Facebook fan page, which is Dr. Lisa Thompson. I also, you can see my Instagram down below. But if you're going to look for my YouTube channel where the replays are, you can see here you want to type in Digital Marketing Doc. That is my business YouTube channel. That is where I keep my, where the Instagram A Rama episodes go to. And so like I said, today we're going to do a topics. We're going to do a quick recap of last week. I'm going to talk quickly about an Instagram tip, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you some features with Icona Square. So last week when we talked about Instagram, we were really talking about using the tool Instagress, which can help you get you more targeted followers. It's an automated service where you can like, comment, follow, or unfollow. And we talked about some rules that when you're going to put comments in, please do not pitch. The sole purpose is to start conversations by asking open-ended questions like saying, nice pic, how are you? Or great shot, how are things? You're keeping it very generic because today I had came across so many responses on my Instagram feed where people were pitching me their opportunity, and the fun, you know, because you don't know when you're putting the comments in what pictures or images they're going to be commenting on. So if they're showing a picture, you know, maybe something of a personal image, and all of a sudden you're going in there hitting them about a business pitch, it doesn't match, and people can sniff if you're a bot or not, and that can land you in some hot water too. So you want to keep things open-ended. And we talked about with using tags, and it's really important to use that Tags for Likes app because you can search through those tags and you can find the, you know, what people are using, what they're talking about, and that's what those hashtags are for. I had a very interesting conversation with a gentleman named Rick this morning because he was asking a question of, you know, when you use some of these broad categories like follow for follow, or, you know, let's see, what's another one? Tags for likes, or I follow back. What happens is that, you know, is there a place to use those? Absolutely. You can use those to kind of expand your net, if you will, to see if there's some people out there who might be interested. But you don't want to overuse the tags, okay, so that it, you know, because there's kind of a fine line between having too broad of a market and too broad of a reach, because then when you're marketing to everybody, you're marketing to nobody. And then there's one where you're too pigeonholed, where the market is way too narrow. So you have to find that sweet spot, and it takes time. I mean, it's a little bit of, you know, you have to work at it, and you're going to find out things the more you use Instagram and the more you're posting images and you're using tags for likes to find where your people are. So I hope that makes sense there to those who are watching. And yep, Vicki, I will get that. I will get you that link at the end of the webinar tonight. I'll put that link up so that for those who want to come and join the Hangout tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Instagram tip of the week. This is one of my favorite apps, and it's the Photolab app. And you can use Photolab, and this is what I love using the Photolab app for. This is to, you know, if you know that there's a, you know, your company, your MLM is putting on like a company event, or they're doing a big webinar, and you want to drive people to that event. What I like to do is I like to use Photolab because they have these great collages you can put together that will enable you to kind of start promoting those speakers who are going to be coming. And there's a big thing. I was off, just this afternoon I was talking with Diane Hockman, and she was talking about there's 3 ways of promotion that a lot of marketers do not use, and the big one that they don't do is pre-promotion. And pre-promotion is you're promoting before the event, and what they'll typically do is you'll put in like a you'll put in like the link to your webinar, and you kind of make it real hypey. And what Diane taught me to do is you want to create like this hunger and this insatiable curiosity that they've got to find out more. And so what I like to do with Photolab is I'll take images like this, and as you can see here on this particular picture, this is Bill and Michelle Pesco-Solito, who are they're just incredible internet marketers and network marketers. And what they did an event 2 weeks ago. And so what I did is I went, and I usually start promoting this like Saturday night or Sunday, because the event was Wednesday, and this was the first picture I created. And I put out that picture, and all I did is I just talked about, meet my friends Michelle and Bill. They are from Texas, and I give them a little bio of what they're like, and I say, they're also very savvy business people. Why don't you go stop by and say hi? And I tagged them in the post, and I wound up getting a lot of likes. And then I did another image the next day, and then I kind of narrowed it a little bit more, making it a little bit more business focused. Talking about how they are with their what they do with their business. And then when it got to about Tuesday, that's when I started putting the links in for the event. And I wound up driving a couple of, I wound up driving several, I can't remember the exact count, but I wound up getting some people to the event that way, because what you're doing is you're doing a soft introduction, and you're making these people, real. Okay, I think a lot of times when we promote things, we tend to make speakers and presenters a lot bigger. We put them on a pedestal, and here you're injecting some humanity into them, and that's what makes us real powerful. So you can do this with Photolab or InstaQuote or WordSwag, and you can use that to craft a story about the speaker or presenter coming up, and you'll find that you'll get a lot more engagement. People are going to be more interested. They'll ask you questions, and when you take a leader like that, and you're doing it in this very edifying and sharing, a story. And a lot of times within your company, your leaders will have, in their bios, their personal stories. They appreciate that too, and they might comment back to you. And when they do that, that just enhances your credibility in the marketplace and in the eyes of your prospect. So with that said, let's talk about Icona Square. I want you guys to think of Icona Square, when we see Facebook has their insights for their fan page, where you can track your metrics, like how many people are liking you, where are your likes coming from, what's your post engagement. Facebook has all these metrics. Icona Square is Instagram's insights, okay? And there are a couple other things that Icona Square has that you can also use to enhance and spread your audience that may be outside of Instagram, okay? Even though Instagram, it's one of the fastest growing social media networks, there are a lot of people out there who don't use Instagram. As a matter of fact, I've been around social media for a while, and I first was exposed to Instagram. I kind of heard about it, but I really didn't start digging into it until this past May. So you will find people, that they're going to be finding out more and more about Instagram. And so Icona Square gives us some tools to help us, introduce Instagram to those people who may not be aware of it. And so they have things like a widget and a Facebook app that you can add Instagram images. And the other feature that I really like with Icona Square, and we're going to go there in just a second, is that you can converse with people. I like using Icona Square over my mobile, my iPad mini, and my Samsung phone because, you know, to me, I like, it's a lot easier for me to type and use when I want to carry on conversations and dialogues. And they can tell you what are the, you know, you'll be able to see, and I'm going to show you in a minute how you can kind of keep track and manage comments as well as the direct messaging people. So that's another reason why I like using Icona Square. So I know this is kind of a, you know, running through it. Okay, Vicki, you found the link. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring over and we're going to do, I'm going to show you a little bit about taking you into the back of Icona Square. So hopefully we'll see our thing here. Is it coming up? Yep, it is. So as you can see here, I'm in the back office of Icona Square. And what you do is when you get, you know, you'll sign into using your Instagram information. And then up here you're going to have all of these different things. And we're going to kind of go through here, give you a quick tour. The first thing we're going to talk about here is with promotion. So when I click on promote, you're going to have, you know, what I would suggest is, you know, putting the Instagram tab for pages. Now I have to be honest with you, I have not put one up yet on my Facebook page. That is something I'm planning on doing tomorrow or Thursday. I want to get that up, and then by the next Hangout I will show you what that will look like. But you can have a tab so people can look and see, they can look and see that you have an Instagram tab, and you can, and what's really cool is that if you have your Facebook linked to your Instagram account, when you are creating your images, the minute you upload your image to Instagram, it'll automatically go right to your Instagram tab. So that's really slick, and that's a time saver, so that you can get your images out, because images are also still popular on Facebook. And then this is another thing here. If you have a blog or a website, you can put in a Instagram widget on your website. And what that does is, and I'll quick show this to you here on mine. Oh, wait a minute. I'll just bring it up here. I'll bring it over here. This is my website. And what I did is when you scroll down here, you can see it says follow me on Instagram. And then this is my Icona Square widget. And so what this does is this just does a slideshow of all my images through Instagram. So people, when they're scrolling down, that's just another image. They can see more images, and people will stop. I mean, they've done studies on this, that people will stop and look at an image over something that's just plain text. So that's something that you just want to keep in mind. I love having it on my site. I get a lot of engagement from that. So I'm going to come right back. Whoops. I have to come back to my screen share here, and we'll go right back to Icona Square. There we go. So that's what Icona Square does. And if you can also, if you want, what I'll do, guys, is I will create a, look for in the upcoming week here, I'll create a little mini video, and I'll put that on my YouTube channel where I'll show you how to set up like a widget on your blog. It's really not that hard. And also you can add like an RSS feed code if you want, or you can put in like a little Instagram badge, just copy and paste this code into your blog or website, and you put that in under where your widgets are, and it will show up right on your screen. But because of time constraints today, I'm not going to go through the full how you do that. I will make a video, and then you can see how that goes. And then here's the manage button, and this is what I like about manage buttons, is that you can come in here and it's going to tell you, you have a little notification of who is, who's following you, all right, and who's commenting, and then you can sit, and if I wanted to reply back to her, I can hit a reply button, and here's my replies, and then I can type in there my responses. And also, this is nice here too, is that you can do like a private messaging, so you can have people who are, if you're creating a new message and if they respond back, that's another way that you can kind of carry on conversations with people. Usually what I like to do is, I'll get the conversation started here, but then I want to take it, to my Facebook wall, or I'll try to get them on the phone and do more conversations there. That way we are, well, for me it's a lot easier because I'm so used to using like Facebook, and I'm used to doing phone. Here it's okay. You can if you want, if you're real comfortable, but I usually like to take it to Facebook, and you can usually tell the ones who are really wanting to connect with you, if you're telling them to do that extra step and they do it, that's kind of further pre-qualifies them for me that, they might be a really good lead, for what I'm going to share my opportunity or product with. Then we have here, this is snapshots. So, they'll tell you here, like when you first, what your first images were, this is how many followers I gained in the last month. Talks about my favorite Instagrammers, who am I following that have, who I favorited, favorite filter. Usually there's a lot of things with filters that you'll see on Instagram, and people like to play with them where they can make the images sharper or duller, or do more black and white or contrast. And it depends, and you watch with your audience to see what they respond to more. And sometimes when I've used filters, I didn't get as much of the comments as I did if I just used your normal filter, because I use a lot of high definition images. And then we have here, this is statistics. This is really powerful because this is going to tell you, giving you insights as to what, you're going to find out how many likes have you received, followers, who you're following. In the last 7 days, I added 734 followers. I lost 127. Here you can see about my engagement, how much they like my new media, the talk rate. Spread rate means, if you have an image that can go viral. I'm starting to get a little bit more shares with this, with the spread rate. And then it'll say, like, for content, it'll say when you posted your first one here in May, as you can see here, I'm all the way up to 322. And it says here, and this will tell me too, my community. When is my community the most active? My followers are, and it tends to be Wednesday is my big day when my followers are really active. So that might be a day when I'm going to do a lot of promotion, maybe of events or products, or really introduce some training. I mean, just to get them into my lead funnel, so they can learn from me. And you can see here, Saturday and Sunday they're not very big for me on those days. It seems that Monday through Friday, with especially Wednesday, is the big day for me. Now, it might be different for you, and that's why when you're looking at your Instagram, to really once a day or once a week, just kind of go to this spot and look at this and track what your audience is doing. And you'll find that if you tailor things to when your audience is there, you're going to see more engagement. You're going to see more people wanting to talk with you and do things. And if you look here, this is very interesting. My peak time for my people for Instagram are between 4 in the morning. At 6 in the morning is the huge time when they're really out and they're out and wanting to talk with me and engage with me, and up at 11. So what I do is, so that tells me in the morning, that's when I'm going to be doing a lot of Instagram. Now for you guys, let's say if you were doing more thing, you will look here, the bigger the green circle, the more that's what your audience is doing. Tag use, all right? Right now, entrepreneur is a huge tag. People are really responding to that. So that is a tag for me that's really optimized. I'm going to be using that for me in most of my tags, because who am I targeting? I'm targeting entrepreneurs, and people are picking up on that. So that's kind of a big hashtag. So you're going to be able to find which tags are real popular with you, okay? And then down here is your filter. But this is something, guys, just to understand, and I had some people say, well, wow, the summers are kind of bad. I'm not getting the leads. And you know what, guys? Right now, typically summer, it falls off. But right now, we're going to be heading into September. And this is another nugget Diane Hockman shared with me. We're heading to, typically for internet marketing and network marketing, January tends to be one of the biggest months of the year sales-wise, because people are making New Year's resolutions. But the second and biggest month of the year, and it has to be almost right up there with January, is the months of September and October. And so what Diane taught me to do is, during this months of June, July, August, you are cranking out content, you are cranking out images, you are giving so much value to the marketplace. Because starting in September, it's back to school, and then people are starting to think ahead to, all right, it's September. Guess what? We've got Thanksgiving and Christmas around the corner here, so they're going to start thinking about holidays and budgeting for the holidays, so they're going to start looking for ways to earn some extra income. Then what happens is when it gets to November, people have, in the U.S. it's Thanksgiving. We have our big Thanksgiving dinner, and everybody they go what Diane calls into like turkey coma mode. And then they don't work from Thanksgiving all the way through Christmas. So there's that 4-week period. So she tells us then that's when you really got to step it up there too and work like crazy, because while everyone is sleeping, and if you're working, you're going to be capitalizing and getting paid in December, and you'll be setting yourself up for January. So everything setting up for your holiday season now, to get paid over the holidays, is based on what work you're doing right now. Oh, we've got a few quick minutes here, so I'm going to kind of wrap things up really quickly because I have to be on another webinar. But I am going to give you a quick homework assignment to make sure, and I really hope you guys are doing these assignments, because they are going to help you down the road. Okay, let me bring that cancel. Okay. And what we're going to be talking about is this homework assignment, and I really hope you're doing these homework assignments, because when you're taking action, you're going to see results. If you're not taking action, you're not going to get the results. So I really want you guys to start playing around with Icona Square this week. Add a widget to your blog for your images. And add an Instagram, Facebook app. You can add either one or both. And if you want to, please share with me, once you've installed it, your information. Send me a link to your blog, send me a link to your fan page, and I can take a look at it. And then next week, now that we kind of covered some of the tools, we're going to focus on the types of images to post. All right? There's different content images that you should be putting out that's going to help you connect with your audience. And if you're putting out the right images, you're going to find that people are going to want to engage with you, and you're going to want to, and they're going to want to know more about you. And the other big thing here too is really start using Icona Square. Check in, check your stats. You can do it every other day. I usually do it once a week to see where things are. Usually, if you haven't used Icona Square yet, just get in a consistent habit of posting to Instagram, and then find out where your followers are. And then if you know when you're you're going to start posting your images when those peak times are for your followers. So, and we'll answer more questions with that next week as well. So with that said, I'm going to have to bop off here so I can get on another webinar. But I do want to thank you all for coming, Rick and Vicki and everyone else who's on tonight, because I have to hop on another Hangout here. So thanks for coming, and make sure that you're on in a half an hour on the MLSP weekly Hangout, because April Marie Tucker is going to be sharing some really cool Instagram tips, and I will be on there as well. So with that said, have a great night, everybody. Have fun Instagramming, and I will see you next week.